These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat. Central Bank of Iraq reserves return to levels before ISIS war, unquote. Mountain Goat says, oh, but the dinar is still just 1/6 of a penny. Maybe someday you can brag about the rate of your currency reflecting its true value. Very sad what they're doing to the Iraqi people and delaying all this wealth that can be derived from their currency if only it was released to the world. Mark Z via PDK, I heard that if Iraq goes, then Vietnam would quickly follow within hours to revalue theirs. They are major trading partners. Sandy Ingram, breaking news in Iraq article, quote, Iraq PM calls meeting of senior politicians to end crisis. Sandy says it appears Iraqi leaders are working on a political roadmap without al-Sadr. This is all over global news. The existing Prime Minister Kazemi called a meeting intending to find a solution to the current political crisis, but here's the kicker, al-Sadr was not in the meeting. Nader from the Mideast, Sadr is asking to have another meeting with all the politicians, but right on TV, like let's discuss this in front of the entire Iraqi population. This guy, Nader says, I like this guy. I'm interested. He's right. The guy is going to fix shit. You know what? I'm going to stick with him. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report. They're talking about the dollar exchange rate. They're saying need to strengthen the local currency and stop the auctions altogether, but say they won't stop the auctions but sell dinar instead of dollar. Frank, on Sunday in the evening, they started to talk to them about the Iraqi dinar reforms, while the white papers and a new exchange rate, and that the auctions are really not going to necessarily stop, but they're just being changed. That's exactly what's going on. Paulette, Parliament has been effectively neutered and will be officially dissolved and a date of early election set. Maliki cannot overcome what is going to happen. Sadr will win this issue, and Kazemi government will likely be removed from caretaker status to emergency powers status. At this time, Kazemi GUI will be able to be portrayed internationally as a fully functional, with all powers government of Iraq. He will be completely, unilaterally, and unopposed be able to enact all laws and or policies to move the country past the emergency. Mark Z via PDK, it looks unsettled in Iraq, but will look that way until the moment they flip the switch. They will release it. They are pushing to get it done. Caparoni, the good news is the Central Bank of Iraq released an article indicating there has been some promising success with the economy and the GDP, primarily as a result of implementing the white paper. Militiaman article, quote, the central bank and the banking sector, main financing and investment ring that supported the economy and protected it from the collapse, unquote. Militiaman said it's going to be interesting to see how they go international with a program rate. It'll be more interesting to see if they go international with a real effective exchange rate, though. They seem to talk about being in accordance with international standards. A program rate of 1,460, I'm fairly sure, is not in compliance with international standards, or they would have already done so. Mark Z via PDK, after this is referencing Nader's post, and then talking to some contacts on the ground over there yesterday, it appears what Nader was talking about was the cojones of the Sadr crowd that want to have meetings with the CBI literally in the streets of Iraq. They want to do it publicly and broadcast it. The discussion on the rate they have indeed taken to the streets. They're expecting a new rate. The people of Iraq have rallied. This is going to be very interesting. The CBI and representatives of the government are now having this open conversation, not behind the scenes, but literally in the streets in front of the presidential palace. They're having this conversation in front of people. This is huge. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report, Firefly, the dollar on the street is falling since the finance minister resigned. Frank, and that is the plan of Kazemi and the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq. By cleaning out the infection that Maliki has been, your currency is gaining strength and the American dollar is falling. It's not being manipulated anymore. Bruce via Wiser Now, one of our sources told us that we would be seeing the major activity and sort of an awesome, almost like a revelation of things happening in the next few days. Very possible that we get this thing started now through the weekend. We are very close. Mark Z via PDK, lots of emails from the groups as to how we are and that we have crossed the finish line. We're waiting for it to filter down to us, and they were very positive. We will see.